God gave me all these erasers so I could destroy.
Cat instinct.
Cat instinct.
I'm
Julian, you've just been called
boy.
a cat boy, yeah.
Yeah, Julian is not cat boy. Congratulations, Julian. We found your gender for you. Assigned cat boy at VTM.
At podcast.
Podcast.
Okay. Hi, welcome to Show Some Initiative. I'm Julian, your storyteller.
I'm James, I play Jose.
Hi, I'm Cookie, and I play Patrick.
I'm Nick, and I play Danny.
I'm Phil, and I play Gabe.
I'm Sean, and I play Theo.
I'm Tori, and I play Erica.
So... Fuck, we're opening with Danny going to see Becca, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe that is correct.
Becca time.
Becca time.
And Danny, I guess.
Turn off my camera again.
Oh.
Listen, I don't want to do Becca's voice in front of you guys. It's embarrassing. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, what
You're
Julian's
fine.
really saying is he has to go get Becca out of the sewer next to his house.
Yeah.
Because Becca is real and she will come for you.
Oh, shit.
God.
Okay. So she's here now.
And sense Becca's presence in the room. Sorry.
Danny, you are wandering through the sewers shortly after you wake up, I'm guessing, looking for Becca.
Hmm.
And I imagine it's not often that you kind of miss out on a meeting with her, so you don't wander around for long. She pretty quickly turns the corner, almost crashing into you. Oh my god, hey Danny, okay, so you're alive, that's good. Is everything alright? Like, have you been okay?
Yeah, I think Danny doesn't look good, right? Yeah, he just kind of looks at Becca. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, old friend. No, I'm not good, but I'm here, and I'm, alive, or whatever. You get it. And he just kind of rubs his face, right? I came back for the file that you're supposed to give me. Sorry, I missed that. It was a rough night.
Hey, I get it. Fuck, I mean, I'm glad you're alive. Hate to say it, but I do consider you something of a friend.
Yeah, he chuckles. Yeah, well, unfortunate as it is, I'm, you're my friend too.
Big softy. Well, she produces the file with a flourish. Here it is. Basically, the long and short of it, Amelia's been back for about a year-ish, I'd say. She moved away for a while. Apparently there was some church drama, and I mean, it's there are a bajillion churches down here in Texas. Why would you move just because one church? You know what, whatever. Also, why is she even going to church? She's a kindred. Fuck, that's a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, Danny looks at Becca fucking thank you, right?
Finally.
Thank God, someone else gets it, right? And yeah, he nods. Yeah, that whole business is kind of weird, but okay, I could carry on.
She is looking to be the sheriff. I think I told you that already, yeah. It does look like she's a bit of a shoo-in. She has a pretty good record, very loyal to the Camarilla. Is there any, reason why you wanted this dirt on her?
Yeah, he nods, right? Yeah, well, deal is, I think she's been after a friend of mine recently. And I don't mean she's looking to, catch him and have some coffee. I mean, she wants him in the ground.
Oh, yikes, yeah. That's, kindred politics, I'm guessing. That bullshit.
Yeah, he nods. And he says, how to say this? Well, screw it. You're my friend. You're gonna find out anyway. It's Nosferatu. It's not like I could prevent you from doing it. He's this Amelia. She sired without the prince's permission a while ago. That child is the friend I'm talking about. And if she's trying to get good, if she's trying to schmooze and get back with the city, she's looking to sign him with the chalk and block so the prince doesn't find out.
Oh, fuck, yeah, that's a lot. Ugh. Are you looking to nip her before she nips him, or whatever?
Probably. I mean, if we can just get her to stop, that'd be good enough, but something tells me it ain't gonna be that easy.
Oh, yeah, no, she's a total bitch. She's gonna try to do everything she can, I bet.
Oh, shit. I mean, I didn't know, but thanks, Becky. You always tell it like it is. But yeah, we'll probably have to go fight her, and seeing as she's more of an elder, that's gonna suck, but it's what we gotta do. But damn, she's been here a whole year? So she was here before Gabe even got here. Shit. And before any of us.
I mean, she seems relatively smart. I guess she's just been planning this whole thing for a while.
What position you said she's going for again? Sheriff, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a pretty close job. Prince wouldn't accept anybody who's got anything on their record. That makes sense. Do you have any other, is there anything else in terms of, you said mostly model Camarilla citizen, but I mean, is there any dirt we could bring to the prince? Besides, the obvious.
Yeah, no, besides that, sire thing, it's mostly, like, kind of cleaning out other kindred of her, domain situation. Maybe there's that, but at the same time, that varies from prince to prince. If it's like, hey, yeah, you're fucking with our turf, get out. I don't know. She proceeds to hand you the folder. I got, the social media stuff. I got her address. I got, headshot, resume, all that bullshit, where she works. Anything else you can think of?
Address is good. You must have scouted out the place. You know what she's got for security? Like she got, mortal security. She got ghouls. She got ghouls moving around.
Oh yeah, she lives in a really nice, ritzy titsy kind of apartment situation. So she does have that mortal security going on, and actually, she does seem to live with her ghoul boyfriend. Yeah.
You'd chuckles really? She's got a ghoul boyfriend at her age.
Hey, I mean, if she likes him young, none of my business.
Shrugs. I guess that's our business pretty soon now, though. Anyway, thanks. That does help, actually.
Hey, yeah, of course, anytime.
And I gotta say, Annie looks over. So you and the whole business, what I asked you to do for Jose's bar?
Yeah.
They know.
Oh. We didn't tell him. She looks immediately rigid, very defensive.
He shakes his head. I know you didn't. I told them. They backed me into it. They backed me. That's backed me into a corner. Didn't have much of a choice, but while I didn't want to come to it at all. But they took it better than I thought. I explained my reasoning, and they ran with it, believe it or not. So, things are all right on that front.
Oh, that's good. That kind of surprising, actually, coming from you. Like, no offense, of course.
Yeah. Surprising to me, too. But, Anyway, Jose actually said, I guess gesture of goodwill, that he'd be willing to pay for the cost of that.
Oh. I'll be sure to put it on his tab then, yeah. She gives you a very sly smirk. Whatever her mouth is doing.
Yeah.
It's doing something.
Your mouth is doing something. There's teeth there.
Hell?
Yeah.
Good.
He kind of scratches his face, right, as he takes the folder. He says, yeah. He said, yeah. Fucking hitman that's fucking hitman generous with his cash. Can you believe that? Thought that shit only existed in movies.
Man, those independents, they're a crazy bunch, huh? Whatever. Not my chair, not my problem.
Yeah, not fair enough, right? And yeah, he takes it, right? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how this is gonna go. We're gonna try to take her on, either expose her or just straight up go and try to whack her. But in either case, things could go sour. So if you don't see me around for a while after all this thing goes down, then you know what happened.
She looks almost sad at that after like a beat or two. Hey, I mean, I know that's the way of the biz, but you be careful out there, okay?
Yeah, he nods. Believe me. As much as I am willing to go through with this, I ain't prepping to die on this hill.
Okay, well that's good. There are better hills to die on.
Like that one over there.
Yeah, like you know that there's actually one. I go up there sometimes at night when there's no one around. It's a real good place. There's some blue bonnets blooming this time of year. Real pretty. Go die on that one.
Maybe I'll visit sometime then. And yeah, I think he gives her a hug, and he walks away from the sewers.
As you go to the meeting place, you kind of feel an extra set of eyes watching over you. You know, you assume it's Becca just trying to keep half an eye on you because she's your friend and she loves you.
So Becca said that Amelia had been in town for a whole year, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't Gabe turned, embraced a year ago?
It should have been 6 months, my bad.
Okay,
Sorry.
you're good.
Can't remember what time of year is it?
It's around Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay, so because Gabe was turned on Christmas Eve, I think it was. So then it's either been barely or not quite a year or not quite 2 years.
Let me check your date of death you put in. 2016, then it would have been barely a year, almost a year.
Not even a year, yeah.
Yeah, because we're playing in
He's a
2017.
Baby.
Yeah.
Gaby
is baby. Confirmed.
It's true.
All right. How do your mornings, nights, whatever you want to call it, how do they start? I know Gabe and Theo, or Gabe had to room with Theo for a bit,
Yes.
so
The new sitcom.
we could start there.
I know, I can't remember. Did Gabe end up using the bed or the couch?
I don't
There's a
remember.
debate.
One bad.
Christ, why does it matter?
There was only one bed.
Well, About that time, isn't it?
Oh, theater's already up.
You went down, you definitely went to sleep after me.
Yep.
And you woke up before me. You good?
Yeah.
Do you need something? Do you need a little snack? Pick me up?
He's a computer programmer, man. He's used to it.
Listen, it's the Kindred stuff. It's fine.
Alright. Well, just watch yourself. Gotta take care of yourself.
Thanks. You too? Yeah. Great conversation. Let's go.
Thank you.
No problem. Let's go.
Let's head out.
Let's roll out.
Okay, so Patrick, when you wake up, you are surrounded in dirt. Right outside your friend Erica's house, too.
Listen. Neither Patrick nor I are great at thinking things through.
Oh, mood.
So, he's gonna try to emerge and kind of quickly look around to see if Erica's around. He's gonna try to sleep by quietly.
Now, can Erica try and catch Patrick before he sneaks out?
Of course.
I would like to contest whatever role you make Cookie do. Please.
Could I please get from Patrick the typical Dex plus stealth, and from Erica perception plus alertness? Jesus.
5 successes.
3 10s too. Wow.
My heightened senses ability decreases the difficulty based on my aspects. May I use that?
I would say so, yeah, if you pay the stuff to do the aspects.
Thank you.
Ah, shit. The aspects people.
So that's only a 3 success still.
Yes! Success!
You don't get scolded by grandma today.
Yes. Patrick is gaslight now. He's gonna be like, no, why'd you do that?
I was just gonna say that Erica was definitely like trying to peek at her window as the sun was setting to try and catch Patrick before he ran off, but probably just missed him as he schlooped out of the garden.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think Patrick schlooped out fucking laying down and just army crawled.
Like a snake.
just crouching under her window still.
Yeah.
Didn't you take Erica's car there?
Patrick's just gonna jog all the way there. Yeah, he's got the stamina. He can do it.
Patrick is able to scuttle out of there unnoticed. Jose and Danny, how are your mornings going?
Jose is prepping more or less for things to go. He's starting to prep things for them going wrong. So he is full making sure that all of his weapons are sharpened and whatnot and in an easily accessible place. And he will actually spend 2 of his blood points to coat his sword in poison that will cause it to do aggravated damage.
What are you planning to happen? What are you planning on doing?
I'm planning on you fucking me over. That's the thing. I'm not expecting things to go terribly wrong with the group. I just assume it's been a while since we've. It's just it feels like things are about to get worse for us, and I'd like to be prepared for it. You know?
Okay, sure.
I'd like to have it and not need it, than need it and not have it. You know?
True.
Okay.
True.
And Danny?
Yeah, I think the morning. God damn it, that's weird. But yeah, you see a night, right? I imagine you see this kind of fucking kind of shitty it's a full-size mattress, but not really. It's slightly smaller than a full size, but they sell as a full size. AC's laying on it, right? And you can see that he has his copy of like the Book of Hakim, right? And it's like draped over his face, right? As he clearly fell asleep reading it. And then you see like an alarm goes off next to bed, and he like shoots up and like slaps the alarm. You see, he just crushes it. Right, just puts like a huge dent in it, and he looks over, and just like you see him go to like, fuck. He like shakes himself awake and gets up. You know, you see, he like goes over, like to get dressed. You see Bruce like kind of trots up to him. He reaches down, like scruffs his neck, right? And he like buttons up like his shirt, like I think you see he like buttons up his shirt like most of the way, and then like thinks about it for a second, and then like unbuttons one again.
What a slut.
What a horror.
And then he like goes over, he pets Bruce again, and he says, "Might be a good night, Brucey boy. Let's see." And you see, he like goes out, and like on the table, he like takes like his gun and like puts it in his, like the back of his pants, right? Puts his shirt over it, and he like goes out the door.
I like to imagine that a scene we do not see is Danny opening a closet and it's just full of other clocks. And he just
it's just a fucking Squidward scene.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly.
He found an alarm clock he liked at Bed Bath & Beyond that was on sale, and he's like, I will take your entire stock. Okay, so where are you guys meeting up? Tabitha has requested a report because it's been a while, but she says you can either do it at the beginning or the end of the evening, depending on however you feel.
I'd say we do beginning to make it look like we're still going to the circus rather than dealing with the other problem.
The other problem being...
Take your pick.
Let's just spin the wheel of problems.
Wheel of problems.
That's just me when I wake up, really.
My mental health every morning.
Take care of yourselves, kids.
I believe the plan was to discuss plans to help out Danny with his hunter problem. But we also, I think, still should do some work in our good friend, the Reverend, getting hunted by his past sire, assumedly. That feels important as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we took care of one person who was part of that, but doesn't mean it's done.
Yeah, and we did get a warning that shit's gonna get wacky for us for that.
Yep.
When Danny asked for the gang to help with his problem with the hunter, did he mean that as kind of a doing it simultaneously now sort of thing, or kind of after we've solved the mission at hand?
Or before we solve that. It is a little wacky adventure side quest through emotional trauma.
What he said is the whole point was he said was hey, you guys are thinking maybe Tabitha's not good and going against her, and I can't do that. But if you do this for me, then I will go with you, right? Because he's basically, if you do this for me, I will go with you guys because this is more important to me, is basically what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys are going to meet up at Tabitha's, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, should we? Do we not want to...
Yeah, you want to coordinate responses?
I think we should, yeah,
Okay, bar then Tabitha's, perhaps?
Yeah, it's just a quick meeting.
Yeah, I feel it would, because I don't think discussing openly everything that's going on in Tabitha's fucking reception room would be the best.
Why not? What do you mean? Why?
Just a quick elevator convo.
Just a little suspicious huddle.
Why would that? Why would what?
Like when kids get called to the principal's office.
So you guys are going to meet up at the last resort.
Yes.
Jose is there ready to greet everyone. What would you like to talk about?
So we gotta get our story straight before we go meet up with Tabitha.
Overall, Tabitha's looking for information regarding our good friend Valencio, right?
Assumedly, but she hasn't said as much.
She wanted us to investigate them in case they were some kind of dangerous group, but I think the real case is that she suspects that it's Valencio back in town and she's fishing for information.
Well, so far, at least we don't have any indication that they are a dangerous group. Like, what's more, it seems like Valencio is not interested in resuming duties as Prince of Houston, right?
As far as I'm aware, but princes can be very paranoid.
Well, how much longer is this circus due to be in town?
I was going to say, if we can get an estimation of their time of departure, that might put the prince at ease.
Do we know anything like that? Has any employees told you more or less when Tristan plans on, or Tristan himself told you when he plans on leaving?
He hasn't told me anything at the very least.
Can we try just texting him right now, see if he's got a response to that? I mean, it's a pretty small piece of information, but it could make a big difference.
May as well give it a shot.
I mean, that's reasonable, I think.
We could even call him. You know,
Yeah.
give him a call on the telly.
Now you can go ahead.
Yep, anyways, is someone gonna do that, or should I?
I mean, I assumed it would be Jose, previous relationship, standing and everything.
Yeah, I will go ahead and text Tristan. How long is the circus going to be in town?
Don't forget to say please and thank you. It helps with getting an answer a little faster.
Fuck, that's adorable.
Erica definitely signs every one of her texts with dear sender.
Oh,
And ends it
holy
with
shit.
love from Erica.
Oh,
Oh, oh,
Wonderful.
I love that. Oh, but you text Valencio, hey, how long is the circus going to be in town for? He texts back with, the shrug emoji, and he goes, maybe another month.
All right. Okay, that's something.
Is that a person juggling without any balls?
Yeah.
Are they trying to lift up the sky? What are they doing?
it's
What does that mean?
It's a symbol of Atlas. Do you know that myth, that legend about Atlas?
Aye, of course.
Yeah.
Cool. We've got another month.
I don't know how long we can stall for.
That can happen in a month. Yeah.
But it is a start first for information for the prince.
Do we know how long the circus stuck around in other places?
I would say you guys, just your collective knowledge, you know that the circus tends to kind of come and go as it pleases. There's no real, announcement of when it's planning on packing up and leaving, but you get approximately a month. Sometimes it's 2.5 weeks, or sometimes it's coming and going in 3 days. But for the most part, it averages out to be a month.
Okay, and it's been here for 2 weeks now?
Yeah, I'd say so. So this is probably one of the longer visits.
Yeah.
All right. Time to make plans for the day. Any new information in between last night and now?
Danny throws the kind of slaps down the file right on the table. There. It's the report. That's a report from the Nosferatu. Contains her address. She's been in town for 6 months. Well before we got here. She's running for sheriff of the city, trying to get the prince's favor for that. In there is her address, which is a high-rise apartment guarded with both mortal security, and also she has a ghoul boyfriend apparently that's live-in. She shrugs. Don't know how
Great.
much. Don't know how much kind of power he has. It's ghouls, so it could range from anywhere.
Is there a way to tell?
Not particularly. He's likely to be more powerful because she's of a lower generation, but I don't know how long he's been around. So.
I mean, we could try finding out something about him. Like, if we find out where he was born, then we have an idea of how old of a ghoul he is, right?
I could certainly try to do some snooping to find if she's been going to any other churches, and if so, if anybody knows who this is.
Unfortunately, and this is the hard part, I asked Nosferatu to see if they could dig up any dirt on her, and the answer is nope. She is squeaky clean, at least from a Camarilla perspective. The only thing we could expose to the prince would be siring without permission, but that's not really an option for obvious reason. So as far as the Nosferatu could tell, and they're good, she doesn't have anything else we can take to the prince.
Can we
could
frame her for something?
Maybe.
I mean, it's not exactly my specialty, but I assume between a hitman and an old school mobster, we maybe have some experience in that.
But frame it for what? That's the question. In terms of character, there's not much character things we could deal with. The sheriff's meant to be a sledgehammer, not much more. You know, it's not like a primogen where you're supposed to represent interests. You just do what the prince tells you. And so, not much in the way of character stuff I think we could do. But I think Hank seems to think for a moment. If we wanted something that would get her immediately thrown out, probably, but wouldn't take too much in the way of faking, I'd say dealing with the Sabbat. I mean, even just the idea that, Camarilla, anyone in a position of leadership with the Camarilla is dealing with the Sabbat would be enough to get them thrown on their ass.
That does sound like a possibility.
But we need to find a decent Sabbat to frame with her, is the issue.
There's plenty of those. It's the Sabbat.
Or the thing would be finding one in the city.
It's also the issue if this person's running for sheriff. I think our good friend Tabitha is going to want very good proof before she pulls anything. Especially given her tenuous grasp on the opinions of her people anyway.
Look, the most important thing is we have to attach to dealing with the Sabbat in general, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be a specific one. It just needs to be the idea that they were dealing with the Sabbat in general, right? The Sabbat mass embrace, they have, tons of newly embraced goons that run around to barely survive in a year. They change out all the time. We can attribute it. We could attribute to any one number of them, and how would the prince know?
True. There is always the more direct solution.
That's the one where we,
something old-timey gangster and a hitman, as you put it.
Yep.
The more permanent solution.
The problem is, if we don't cover our ass real well on that, the hammer's gonna come down on us. Kindred like us, if you're an elder, you can get away with killing another elder, right? They insulted your honor or whatever. But, an ancilla or even a neonate killing an elder like that, they won't stand for that.
Oh, you folks are having an awful lot of direct suggestions. I might be coming out of the woodwork here, but what if we could arrange something more in the lines of paperwork to present to the prince? Something that would prove that Gabriel's been registered as a not bastard vampire? I mean, sometime under Tristan's
Are we
rule?
talking about forgery here? Adoption? What is this?
Oh, if there's a Camarilla sponsored adoption program, it would make my day. And Patrick kind of like turns to look at Jose, Danny, and Theo, which are the people that would know, because that just sounds stupid enough that kind of a Camarilla would do it, but also very funny.
I mean, do people have birth certificates and death certificates? Do they have rebirth certificates?
No, it's what it's really about is just the connection to the sire. That's how it is for all vampire societies. The thing about it is that Camarilla law, technically, yes. If you sire without permission, you're supposed to kill the child and the sire. The reality is that gets overlooked all the time. All the time. Because the reality is, most princes don't actually want to do that all that often. They only do it to make a point. It's to make a point. What it's about is making a point to punish the sire. They don't really care about the child. So it gets overlooked a lot. Problem is, and I kind of sighs. The problem is that if the sire's still around and it comes out, then likely the prince will want to make a show out of it. So the execution will go through. If the sire isn't around anymore, there's no example to be made. There's no one to punish. So chances are they'll let Gabe go.
Well, might be going out on a limb here, but what if we approached Amelia first? Again, I know it's not necessarily the best suggestion, but I'm putting it out there. We know where she is. We know people connected to her.
Well, according to the city's most eminent Nosferatu, she is a, quote, total bitch, unquote. So, I don't know how well that would work, but,
No.
I mean, fuck it. If it's worth a shot, I suppose.
She is a dangerous figure.
It is a thing to consider. I fear we would be tipping our hand if we do so, though. We do have the fact that Amelia doesn't know what we're planning. She probably knows who all is working with the father here, but wait, it's Reverend, right?
It's Reverend.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the Reverend here. Amelia probably knows we are working with Gabe here through her connection to Melanie. I'm sure Melanie had us mostly figured out. Seems so, at least when we question her. So it could give us away, our plans away. I think the decision should be taken. We should use the resources we have. In this case, the one person here that actually knew Amelia for a while, and with that Patrick like gestures towards Gabe. Like, what do you think, Gabe? Would she be able to be reasoned with?
She's a bit of an unstoppable force, to be honest. That's why we had our falling out, I think. I mean, she turned me without regard for getting the permission first. Do you think she's really gonna be a reasonable person?
I suggest we don't think of this like two reasonable people having a discussion. I suggest we think of this more like a war negotiation.
Makes it hard to negotiate when we don't know what she's got on our side, though. We don't have a lot of intel there.
I might be able to get closer than some of you. As an independent, I can always frame my interest in her as... Well, the Astamites always have a vested interest in being on the sheriff's good side, and if they're looking for a new sheriff, wouldn't be too odd for me to make a house call.
Again, I don't think it's a bad idea, but that is assuming that Melanie hasn't told, didn't get the chance to tell Amelia that we worked with Gabe. And given that we kind of all came into the circus at the same time, like it doesn't take a particularly bright kindred to put that together, you know?
It's a risk.
I mean, the biggest problem here is we're walking into this blind. Well, we don't really have much other than, like, what Gabe remembers from, like, a year ago and what Danny just got. This isn't a lot to work with here.
That's true.
I've got an evil suggestion, but Erica would never bring it up.
But Tori might. What's up?
Tori might. We know she has a Gould boyfriend.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
If she particularly cares about him. Once again,
Like a hostage
Erica
situation?
would never. What?
Hostage situation?
I mean, here's the thing. Amelia knows about us. The boyfriend doesn't.
We don't know
Hopefully. Why would I mean? Maybe, but also like that's it's.
It would be more loose
way
ends.
less risky. If we're going to go by this right at an angle, that one would be better than breaking and entering, which was my other suggestion.
And Doctor, I know you're a trusting kind, but most kindred aren't really the kind to extend trust easily, not even to people they might be in a relationship with, especially not something of this caliber.
Again, I did not suggest that in character, Erica.
Yeah. Oh, right. True. Although I guess it is her goal, so he'd be like kind of supernaturally bound to obey her / keep her secrets. So at least that reason for not telling her him about us is not really valid. Okay, so kind of composing our methods right now. We have frame Amelia for conspiration with a Sabbath agent, either just Sabbath in general or a specific person if we find one. Kill her, but we would need a pretty solid either alibi or reason to do so, or else we're fucked either way. Or negotiate with her and be like, hey, we can do this in a way that you're not killing Gabe, and you get to be sheriff. You know, this doesn't have to end with Gabe dead. Or well, dead again.
Double dead.
You know.
Dead squared.
Dead squared.
One potential solution is we take care of the Tabitha situation, and in exchange for her not trying anything, we can try to fast track a suggestion to our good friend Valencio if he takes it back. But that's assuming we'd be okay with her taking charge of part of the city.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I don't know how long I'll be in the city, but I don't know how comfortable I'll be living a quote-unquote what was it, unreasonable bitch in a position of power.
I wasn't very keen on that.
I mean, it's the Camarilla. So an unreasonable bitch is going to be in charge somehow. You just gotta choose the best bitch.
Put that on a
And
t-shirt.
that's why you have to vote.
Thanks, James.
And that's why we're supporting Valencio, the best bitch.
I love that. So hold up.
Let's get campaign buttons that say support Valencio, best bitch.
Support Valencio, the lesser of all evils.
Wonderful. Okay, so what are we thinking then? Or do we, like, is this a discussion worth closing out now, or do we put a pin in this and go talk to Tabitha?
I say we go talk to Tabitha. We've been keeping her waiting as much as it is.
Yeah, she's not one to keep us on a long leash.
She's not. I don't think she's one to appreciate tardiness. Call back to the first interviews with Nick arriving late.
Bruh.
Well, hello there. It's me, Cookie, the player behind everyone's favorite tired, grumpy dad, Patrick. First of all, I wanted to come here and say Happy Pride! It's Pride Month, baby! Yeah! Now, Father's Day was just around the corner, and I didn't receive any messages for him, for our poor boy Patrick. I am very disappointed in you kids. You ought to do better. But no, actually, thank you so much for checking out our show. We're so glad to have you here at Show Some Initiative. I am also hoping you enjoyed last week's wonderful little break. It was a little idea we concocted to point you guys over to Nikipedia. It's our little show that Nick does, the player behind Danny, our wonderful mobster Danny. He goes very into the lore and setting of Vampire the Masquerade. So if you have any doubts regarding the setting or the world, please check it out. It's wonderful, very informative. Nick does an amazing job. If you enjoy this show and you would want to support us, we'd really appreciate it if you could share the show with your friends. Really, we don't do any kind of advertising, so you telling your friends, colleagues, family, enemies about us is the best way for us to grow and reach more ears. We need everyone to know that Patrick is best dad. Come on, guys, I'm counting on you. To stay in the loop, be sure to follow us on Twitter at SomeInitiative or on Instagram at show.someinitiative. You can check out all our social medias in our link tree at linktr.ee/showsomeinitiative. That's linktr.ee/showsomeinitiative. Our show is currently available in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, on YouTube. So, go ahead, check it out. We'd absolutely love it if you could leave us a comment, a review. That also helps us a lot. And our YouTube format recently got a little overhaul. So if you haven't seen it yet, I'd really recommend you check it out. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the episode.
Smash cut to Tabitha's office. You all are being called in. She is wearing a very lovely, modern blue sparkly dress today. She looks very charming.
I was legit gonna ask what she was wearing.
Yeah, I know my audience. She gives you guys a very, tight, almost forced smile as you enter.
I'm familiar with that, okay.
Theo's
It's
used
okay,
to it.
I'm used to it.
Hello, everyone. How are you all doing this evening?
functional.
It's been a busy one.
It's been a night.
I'm doing great, thanks.
Hi, we're tickety boo.
Oh boy. She just kind of sighs. You see her shake her head to herself. Well, I suppose we start with the usual of how your assignment's been going. Any news there on that front?
On the things you have directly sent us to investigate, we have found one masquerade breach, technically, but kind of.
At that, her eyes seem to light up. Oh, please, fill me in. She actually pulls out a sheet of paper, a notepad and a pen, and she looks almost eager, bloodthirsty for this, she's been waiting.
Oh.
Every little bit helps.
We found the fake Gabe pretending to feed from someone, and that's it, really.
Yeah, they weren't very inconspicuous. They do it in alleyways, right next to where people were walking.
It almost seemed like they wanted to be caught or something.
Yeah, he nods. Seems like they were trying to pin it on Gabe.
We also have other reports from inside the circus of a version of Gabe over the past 6 months showing up at the circus and feeding publicly.
Okay, well... She kind of huffs. That's good to know. She seems almost disappointed.
In that regard, we also found the fake Gabe to see if we could confront them about it, to which they responded by going into a frenzy and trying to murder us brutally.
She looks unsurprised, and I see that they failed, clearly.
Yes, and I can guarantee you that we won't have to worry about Doppelgaber anymore.
She sighs. I wish you had consulted me before you just killed like that, but she waves her hand. Considered it pardoned already. It's part of the job, unfortunately.
I appreciate that. There wasn't really an opportunity to give a call. Bit of short notice there.
We tried to tie her up to answer some questions, but she frenzied before we could even get started, probably to protect the information.
She looks... pauses. She? Do you happen to know who it was?
The name that she gave us was Melanie Roberts. She was working at the haunted house, I believe.
We did some investigating before to make sure. Apparently, she was some kind of merc, traveled from place to place. The last place we knew about before this whole business was up near Oregon.
She nods. I see. Any significance of Oregon here, then?
Yeah, he shrugs.
As far as we know, that's the first time the sightings of Gabe were seen. So it lines up with the contract that she took, with the last contract ending there in Oregon. She must have taken some sort of incentive to do what she was doing there.
A contract, you say? Do you happen to know the details? Do you happen to have a copy?
We found evidence that the last time she was contracted officially by the Camarilla was 6 months prior and had taken no more work than that. Is the more accurate way to put it.
She was more professional. She kept a register of jobs, but it seems that she only wrote them down after she completed them, because there wasn't anything in the book about this one. Just the prior one. That's how we knew she came from Oregon.
All right, I see. That's inconvenient for us, to say the least. It'd be good to know who employed her. She writes that down before pausing. She kind of looks at you guys, peering up over her notepad. Do you have any idea who that might be?
Like I said, the only real information we have was the last person she credibly worked for prior to the hiring, and we've found no connections to Gabe going back 6 months or so.
She nods. I see. Okay. It proceeds to write more things down. Well, is there anything else that you would care to tell me today as a group, before we go into the individual interviews? At your silence, she nods and starts to wave you all out. All right, well, I'll talk with you one at a time just to make sure everything's going smoothly, seeing how you feel about your teammates. Then she waves you all off. Okay, if you all could please leave. Except for Jose, I'd like to start with you today, if that's all right.
Of course.
Everyone else leaves. You hear the door click shut behind you, and you sit in one of the, very uncomfortably stiff chairs that she has. Okay, well, Jose. First off, how do you feel about your teammates so far? Is everyone working together all right?
Danny seems to have some issues working with Gabe, just based off of their philosophical differences. Erica and Patrick seem very willing to work with people. Theo seems like they're playing with their cards close to their chest.
I see. That's good to know. How do you feel about everything so far? Anything of note?
Well, in regards to the end of our interview, I would say the two I'd be watching the most are Theo and Erica. Theo because I don't hold the Tremere in an incredibly high holding and often are in it for themselves. And Erica because they seem to, if given a good moral objection to the mission, the most likely to betray.
She nods. I see. Thank you. I appreciate your honesty there.
You hired me to get you that information. I'm merely upholding my end of the contract.
She nods. I can respect that.
It has not escaped my notice that that twice now in the course of this investigation, we have been dealing with problems related to direct members of the crew more than I would find in a normal rate.
What do you mean by that? Please elaborate.
When I brought up the fact that it seemed like hunters were going to follow us home that first night, Daniel seemed to be nervous at that prospect, almost as if it was something he were used to. And moreover, we have someone impersonating Gabe and committing fake masquerade violations in his name and image. That is something that isn't natural for a lot of the teamwork I've done.
She kind of sighs to herself. I see. Well, that's good to know who the troublemakers may be right off the bat.
If you'll forgive my conjecture, my meaning was more to say it feels targeted. May I ask how public our contract is with the rest of the Camarilla? Is there a chance that someone's looking to take this thing down from the inside?
That would be rather bizarre. I do know that my primogens are aware of this. I can't think of anyone else who would know. But rest assured, I don't think any of them have anything against you all. I mean, unless they want to go out gallivanting around the circus.
Fair. So just the primogens, not the sheriff or any of the harpies.
Oh, harpies aren't really allowed in official Camarilla business. They're more of a headache to deal with than anything, really. And I currently am looking for a sheriff. While the position has been open for a short amount of time, I don't think my old sheriff could really use this information, considering that they're dead.
As an interested party in this city's politics, may I ask if you have anyone in mind?
She kind of shakes her head. I have a few good ideas, but as of now, it's more of an interview process, similar to what I did with you all, just making sure I get the right fit.
That seems about right. Well, in any case, that is all the information I presently have for you. I'm keeping eye-outs for anything that might slip past some of our more recently embraced and less knowledgeable teammates. Is there any new persons of interest I should be keeping an eye out for?
Currently I can't think of any, no, but thank you for being aware.
Of course. Have a pleasant evening.
Thank you, you as well. Now please, if you could send the next person in, or next kindred, I suppose.
Of course. And Jose leaves.
When Jose says the least experienced people in our group, Patrick turns to Gabe and goes like, "Hey, I think he's talking about you."
Are you guys like eavesdropping?
The two newest.
No, Jose just forgot to shut the door.
Even though I literally said you hear it click shut behind you, I love that.
Also, yeah, Jose would not be doing that, doing the fake, like, blackmail stuff if he assumed people could hear.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Patrick's just got his super hearing.
Yeah,
he does have super hearing. He just says that to Gabe, and Gabe's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Awesome.
Patrick, you're up.
Okay. Patrick stands up, dusts himself. He's still like finding little bits of dirt in his shirt.
You haven't even changed your shirt.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
King.
Hope it doesn't have pieces of splinter in it still.
He like shook it out. Most of the dirt is gone.
Yeah, is this still the one that like you were staked through?
No, it's
just got a patch in it.
It's the band t-shirt. Oh, Patrick's still in the band t-shirt. He needs to change.
Oh.
No. He probably has like a flannel. Like he has the band t-shirt underneath, but he probably has like a flannel in his car that was at the bar. Patrick walks in and closes the door behind him.
Your interview process goes pretty smooth. At the end, as she's wrapping up, she goes, "Okay, well, thank you so much for all this information. Now, is there anything else you'd care to share with me?"
Well, this is Patrick kind of something I haven't really shared with the others yet. It's something small. It could be nothing, but I think it's worth looking into further. I began working with, I've been mostly working with a Kindred in particular. And I overheard some conversations happening in the circus. There seems to be some sort of agitation, like there's inner conflict there. She seemed angry at Tristan for some reason. I managed to listen in for a bit, but as soon as I got noticed, they hushed up pretty quickly. I don't know if it's it could be an interrelationship thing, I don't know, but it could be something else.
She looks a little confused. Now, who is she? And I do recall you guys have mentioned Tristan is kind of the leader of the circus,
the
correct?
ringleader of the circus, yes. She's a kindred by the name of Samantha. She seems physically younger, though I assume her apparent age doesn't really belie her real age. There seems to be some conflict in there. I don't know what's going on, but I think it would be worth pressing into the matter, and I thought it was prudent to let you know before I go pressing in on the issue more.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that. That seems like a pretty important issue to bring up, especially if it could cause conflict within our society. If it's within their little circus, then I'm not too concerned, but if they consider bringing it outside, then...
Yeah, that was my problem. If it's an inter-circus matter, then it wouldn't really matter out here, but if it's something more... with more far-reaching consequences, then I'd make sure to keep you updated.
Thank you, I do appreciate that.
And Patrick gives a nod and kind of gives a questioning look to the prince and then like towards the door, like, may I go?
Yes, she waves you off. Please send in the next person.
All right. He gives a curt bow and moves out. Daniel, she sent for you.
Yeah, he nods and walks in the room.
I'm assuming you give her the standard, 401 on everything that's been happening so far.
Yeah, pretty much. I give her like the standard kind of arrangement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think once he gets done with that, he sighs and says, "There's one other thing, Prince."
She looks up at you. Oh, yes?
To be honest, yeah. Maybe it's kind of dumb of me to, be the worker that tells you that you don't need their services, but I think that going and monitoring these, I think monitoring the circus is a waste of time, frankly. We've been moving back and forth. There was one issue, but that was targeting Gabe. We don't even know that anything had anything to do with the circus itself, really. More just a target at him. And then there was one issue I was concerned. They seemed to be arguing about something. Tristan and one of the workers there seemed like the employee seemed like she wanted to kind of lay down roots in the city, get more of a presence here. But Tristan just shut that down. He didn't want to hear it at all. He just basically told her to leave him alone. I don't see him changing his mind on that. I think they're going to be out of here in a month, and I don't think they're going to be doing anything while they're here except what it says on the tin, frankly.
She nods. Well, then my biggest concern would be just making sure that these workers don't get any more ideas or that they don't try to stage a coup. If you think that this Tristan character is willing to move right along, then maybe he means no harm, but we can't risk anyone trying to dig their claws in deeper here.
He shrugs. I suppose. I think Tristan's got him a tight enough leash, but your wish is my command.
Thank you, and I do think that your services at the circus will probably be wrapping up soon. Hopefully they'll be moving on, but she shrugs. We'll see. Better to be safe than sorry.
Yes.
Now, is there anything else that you'd care to bring up?
Yeah, no, I don't think Danny would bring anything else up.
Okay. She waves off. Okay, well, if you could please send in the next one. And Gabe and Erica, your interviews go through easily. You don't really bring anything up, correct?
Yeah, nothing here.
Erica goes on of like, oh, she was such a nice girl. Would have never expected she was a murderous assassin in disguise. You never know when this kind of thing's gonna happen, I swear. That whole spiel.
The whole spiel.
Delightful. Then I'm assuming after Erica is like close to being a blubbering mess about the whole thing with Melanie, she goes, okay, well, if that's done, if you could please send in Theo.
Sorry, my eyes are watering and I'm a blubbering mess.
I actually forgot that Gabe's technically supposed to roll in the presence of the prince.
Oh yeah, do it, bitch! Hell yeah!
Roll,
God, I have to look
roll.
up what the hell I have to roll. Pull up my card here.
Could you imagine if he fails this one?
Come
Never
on.
failed before.
Retroactively, he's blubbering in the corner. Let's see. 7, which is not great. I get 1 success.
You're good.
Yep,
Not
that's all it
good.
takes. You're a little anxious, you got the jitters, but you're fine. So, Erica, if you could please send in Theo.
Oi, I'll get the lad there. Alright, Theo, don't fuck this up.
Okay.
It's just that meme with the corgi. Don't blow this grass.
Yes.
I'm just kidding, you're gonna do amazing.
Okay. So, Theo, what'll do you tell the prince? Anything special?
I mean, other than also the confirming about like them probably only staying for a month, I don't think there's anything special to add here.
Okay. When you bring in the fact that you think the circus will be staying for about another month, she nods. Well, okay, then I suppose that's about how long you guys would probably be staying at the circus then, assuming it is there for the whole month. Hopefully you're incorrect and it goes away sooner. That'd be one less problem off my plate, but who knows? She kind of huffs.
Yeah,
Now,
a month is the average anyways. Not really, Tom.
she nods and jots that down. Okay, well, is there anything else, Theodore?
No,
Okay,
I think
well,
I covered everything.
before you leave, I would just like to talk with you, please, if you don't mind.
Alright.
She gives you a very sickly, sweet, fake smile.
Wonderful. Love these.
I have a reason to believe that not everyone in your group is telling me the truth or everything that's happening. Now, as your employer, I think you can see from my side that isn't exactly a good thing, especially when I'm having you tackle something as sensitive as a mysterious magical circus that may or may not be after my power. She pauses for a moment, kind of puts her finger to her chin. You do see how that could be a bad thing, right? I'm not just going crazy here.
Yeah, you think one of our group is lying?
Oh, not necessarily lying, although in some cases I do believe that is what's happening. I'm more concerned about just making sure I have the whole story. Now, I don't trust almost everyone in the group for one reason or another, whether it's because of how young they are or their former alliances. However, you, she points at you very dramatically, are tied to the Tremere, who in turn are tied to the prince, at least in most scenarios. I think you can see where I'm going with this. She cocks her head at you.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, yeah.
Delightful. So, I trust that next time we meet, you'll have a full report, preferably typed up. of everything that has happened since you first started this job. Every detail that you think is important, and even the ones that you don't think are important.
Just anything? Just
anything and everything, yes.
But like, how specific are we talking about here? Do you want me to like seek out secrets here or political aspirations? Or are we just talking about general interpersonal stuff? Insights? What am I looking for here?
She sighs. I do really appreciate how detail-oriented you are with this task already. I imagine that you would find...
Specifics.
I imagine that you would find a way to give me all the information you deem important in the most concise way that you can. Even if it is a few pages long, I am a kindred. Lord knows I have plenty of time. And I think the more detailed you are, the better it'll work out for you.
Right. Maybe you could see it from my perspective then. This is a little bit extra work for me. What is there to say sweet it for me, you know?
Your compensation, of course.
Yeah, but I wasn't hired here to do reports, you know? You're asking extra work for my own time, you know? I'm just asking for some incentive.
She gives you a very devious smile. Oh yes, of course. Your compensation. I'm more than happy to negotiate with you on this, but I figured for starters, better pay? How does that sound?
Not quite what I'm looking for.
She does a little fake pouty face. Oh, I should have known. Our kind of people aren't entirely motivated by money. How about your own hunting ground? Free access to whatever kind are in there.
Tempting. But I think I'm good.
She sighs. Oh, well, is there anything you do want then? I could increase your rank in the Tremere Chantry, give you more power, more responsibility, more rule. I could put you on their council.
That is a way more in line of what I'd like. But I'm not that interested in titles or responsibilities. I was hoping for information. Some just access to the higher ups. If you understand what I mean.
So you're wanting the exclusive, top secret, very well kept secrets of the Tremere Chantry. But you don't want an increase in rank, you don't want to become a regent or even a magister, you just want the information. Am I correct?
He smiles at that. Yes.
Well, if that's all that you want, then that could be definitely arranged. As long as you provide your end of the bargain first, I'll be more than happy to write you a hall pass of sorts.
Sounds like we have a deal then.
She holds out her hand to you. Do you take it?
Yes.
After a very hearty shake where she squeezes a little too hard, she gives you a smile. Delightful to add this to our contract. I trust that you will give me everything that I'm hoping for. Now, is there anything else?
No. I'll be sure to come back with my report.
Delightful. Now, of course, I expect for our deal and your report to remain between us. I feel like that was obvious, though.
Of course.
Well then, I hope you have a lovely evening, Theodore. I am very much looking forward to your report.
And I imagine that she has a very, like, tight, kind of, fake smile as earlier, and he returns it with a nod. Of course. Till we meet again.
She nods in return and waves you off.